Hi, I'm Loren Conrad, Men's Retreat Ministry Chair at St. David's Episcopal Church in Roswell, Georgia. The roots of our retreat go back to a conversation I had with Benny King at a choir practice in the fall of 2008, and that was right after the women had returned from their retreat. Benny was bemoaning the fact that he had retreat envy because he was hearing all the great things that were coming back from the women's retreat, and he wanted to have a men's retreat. So I asked him why we didn't have one at St. David's, and he said that there had been a few years ago an earlier one, and the men didn't like the structure of it, so it wasn't supported. I told him that I had come from a church where we had some successful retreats and that we could probably put together a model that would be successful at St. David's. We put together a model which allowed for some serious spiritual study as well as some recreational fun for the men. We went to our rector, Father Paul, with it, and he approved it. Then we searched for a venue and found Unicoi State Park in Helen, Georgia. It was ideal, a beautiful setting with conference facilities, and it is only about an hour and a half from Roswell. We promote our retreat as a weekend of spiritual renewal and Christian fellowship. A typical retreat weekend starts on Friday noon with the option to play golf, hike, fish, or just explore the mountains. That evening we have fellowship around the fire as we cook our meal, and Compline follows. On Saturday morning we start about 9:30 with breakfast and morning prayer. The speaker then delivers sections of his program, and we break into small groups to discuss the sections as they are delivered. At about 4 o'clock, we break for free time. Then about 6, we get back together for evening prayer and to eat a dinner made by some of St. David's great cooks. We follow up with an evening of fellowship. On Sunday morning, we again have breakfast and do the final wrap-up session. We then have a worship service and Eucharist on the deck of the beach house. This is especially meaningful as the men gather in a big circle and present the bread and wine to each other as it goes around the circle. We are finished with the retreat by noon so we can get back home Sunday afternoon. As an example of some of the programs we've had in our first retreat in 2009, Father Steph Britt gave us occasions for hope, fly fishing, and spirituality. In the afternoon of that session, we actually went to a small stream nearby and he taught us how to fish. In 2011, Father Jim Nixon presented the movie City Slickers and took us through how we could find the one thing that is important in life. In 2014, Theology and Your Faith was presented by Dr. Ross Wright as he took us through the history of Christianity and 3 men who really had an impact on it, Bonhoeffer, Luther, and Barth. And in 2018, our very own Rich Sanders took us through a man's role in the spiritual life of his family. Participation in our retreat has steadily grown from 39 men in 2009 to 54 in 2019. This reflects the impact it has had on men's lives and the growth of relationships among the men of St. David's. As with other events, our 2020 retreat was canceled by COVID-19. As we get back to normal, maybe next year, and have another retreat, I urge every man in the St. David's Parish to experience this meaningful event.